that can throw you off when you see a guy who's always aggressive, and then all of a sudden he's waiting and playing this, this chess game with you. It takes a moment to kind of wrap your brain around that and make.
Kavaliauskas comes forward, and Bud Crawford was hurt. And the ruling that
Terence wants to get to him. He must be smart.
around as well with the right hand.
Pull him back with his hands down.
And now Crawford goes to the body. And look at the action we have here in round 3. As
Right. He's timed Terence coming in, or when he's waiting, he landed that shot right on the chin. He hurt Terence bad, and I'm not sure why that wasn't called a knockdown. Right. He's timed Terence coming in, or when he's waiting, he landed that shot right on the chin. He hurt Terence bad, and I'm not sure why that wasn't called a knockdown. Joe.
Here comes the right hand.
Another shot over the top, and Terence is posing. He's looking at Kavaliauskas as if he's not supposed to punch.
Oh, pay attention. If we're being technical, Ring is now reporting something that is actually false. About Crawford and Canelo. I'm going to dissect everything, share what I know, and go over everything with you in this video. You will therefore comprehend why I am doing what I am about to do in this video if you see it through to the conclusion. The bottom line is that, let's begin from the beginning. I think there are origins. I think it's important to be open and honest with my audience. I like to share my knowledge with you guys, so I want you guys to know. Thus, this is the beginning. The Ring magazine, to help Canelo Crawford get more recognition, they released this image because desperate times demanded desperate tactics. Correct, never dropped. I take it that it says Ring magazine? Never dropped. Additionally, I intend to read it. Never been dropped, it states. A total of 765 rounds were fought between Canelo Bay. You want me to know that? Additionally, Terence Bud Crawford, no knockdown. Technically speaking, this is accurate. However, you must realize that there's a lot of politics involved in boxing, such as with Sweet Pea. Without a doubt, Pernell Whitaker ought to have defeated Julio Cesar Chavez. Anybody who claims otherwise is ignorant about boxing, either because they didn't see the fight or because they are racist or biased in some other way. However, the bout ended in a tie. You may say something like, "Oh, Chavez, I'm just making one up there." In Texas, Chavez never lost. And if that statistic is accurate, for example, "Oh, Chavez never lost at the Alamodome," it would be correct. This is because the bout was officially declared a draw. Therefore, I think it's corny that Ring would go out like this and create this poster. Again, desperate times necessitate desperate measures, but I'm not sure who their social media manager is. They may be looking for a way to get people excited because the fight buzz isn't strong enough. However, I dislike it when you utilize my sport and people who are ignorant and opportunistic attempt to make a big deal out of something that isn't actually true. For this reason, I'm creating this video discussing how they've never been dropped. Boxing is more than MCI, to reiterate. If you have players like Gab Rosado, it will say that he has a lot of defeats, correct? He will be held accountable by those who say, "Hey, you lost X amount of time." However, if you truly watch every battle, you'll see that he probably shouldn't have lost several of them. Therefore, you can't fully depend on statistics alone when discussing never being dropped in the boxing sport. You're all in serious trouble now. We will now separate the young ladies from the women, the lads from the men, and determine who's the best boxer. And I'll explain why putting that out there is a bad selling point, and why the image is foolish. Correct. This is Canelo Alvarez. Then, before I begin, keep in mind that you are dealing with a genuine one. I can shoot a sharpshooter. The greatest thing ever was, and the greatest thing ever will be. Correct? When it comes to boxing, I'm a hitman. An encyclopedia for humans. Therefore, please don't. Yes, but Canelo Alvarez returned and prevailed in the battle. But boxing ego, huh? Canelo was just 19. Yes, but Terence Crawford returned and prevailed. They came to win the battle, but I didn't say that. Beware of spoilers. They ought to have been punished for getting dropped in both of these encounters, right? They returned and prevailed via knockout. However, it still doesn't give you carte blanche to publish visuals that, while technically accurate, will differ greatly, don't you think? It kinda reminds me of Devin Haney. Although Devin Haney is technically unbeaten, true boxing fans don't really view him as such based on what they witnessed in the Ryan bout. Additional technical details. Let's go then. Canelo was around 18 years old when he arrived in America. I believe he was 19. In the first round of his fight with Cotto's brother, he was clipped. The brother of the CO is seen on the screen right there. As you can see, he's being held aloft by the ropes. Proceed directly there. He was being massacred. He's being held aloft by the ropes. Then, just for good measure, Jose Miguel Cotto continued to clock him. Let's run that back though. Boom. Technically speaking, Canelo, if the ropes hold you up following a punch or a scoring shot, not an illegal shot or anything wild, not a headbutt, and you consult boxing regulations, then it's a knockdown. Referees don't catch everything for whatever reason, so it is what it is. Canelo was dumped there. It needs to be authentic. He returned and prevailed in this battle, but the weaker Cotto dumped you and was teasing you. You see, well, boom. Oh, look at it in broad daylight. Rocka darling, he was young, bro. Canelo didn't really understand what he was doing because, well, look at it. His entire body twisted. He was being tagged, and his anxious expression was visible. Check out the guy B, sweetie. Let's go on to Terence Crawford. In the third round, Crawford will face Egypt Velasquez. Egypt was really clever and was boxing harder when the referee called a slip. But if you watch closely, he was clocking, and when Crawford went to clinch, his knee gave up. Boom. Crawford then fell to the ground. On the canvas, Neil, it's a knockdown. As you heard in the outset, Terence Crawford was posing, according to Andre Ward. He was injured. He was severely injured, and a knockout was what was called for. I don't know. Look, he asks, bro, what is a knockdown if that isn't one such as? For example, what are we discussing? That should be a knockdown, right? You have to tell me. He is in your line of sight. After being punched by the nasty machine, his leg buckled because he was injured and had come into contact with the canvas. Thus, I simply refuted the graphic. Fast. Andre Ward even stated at the start of this video that he didn't understand why the referee didn't truly rule that a knockdown. To this day, I don't know. However, boxing is similar to the Wild West. You have no one to answer to, so you may ostensibly do anything you want. Judges to issue appalling scorecards. They can observe Crawford. The referee is right there, you see. You're seeing Crawford kneel. Additionally, Crawford made a wise, experienced move. Take a look. That's a good shot, I see. That's a shot I see. You understand what I mean when I say that Crawford attempted to grab, because he is a skilled and knowledgeable fighter. I suppose the referee became confused when he made an attempt to grasp and clinch. The referee then decided it wasn't a knockdown. Again, it's nice for casual fans when you release images like these, but true boxing aficionados understand what I mean. Additionally, I consider myself to be a very competitive individual. Losing bothers me. I enjoy competing. Furthermore, I'd rather not take credit for a technicality. For example, I won't boast, oh yeah, I did it, if I rob someone or fight someone and rob them, and everyone knows it was a robbery. I know deep down that I shouldn't have won that argument. Thus, I won't feel good about myself. Therefore, I find it incomprehensible that Ring would even post this. It seems desperate to me. There are different methods to market the fight, but when you look at someone like Gennady Golovkin, he has a better one. I honestly can't think of a single instance in which he was dropped for genuine reasons. So if you put that image up with him, I wouldn't even be tripping. Later in his career, Darvenchko injured him. Guys, if you didn't have maxes, guys, nothing catches. Nothing ticks off. Correct. He was clipped and suffered injuries. I obviously can't remember a Golovkin bout though. Guys, hell no. Triple G's. Knee was on the ground exactly where he really butted. His hand I can't remember when. Therefore, let's be reasonable and call boxing fair if we must. There's nothing to boast about here. Oh, you know, da-da-do-dee, and you're trying to overhype the fight by attempting to kill people with 765 rounds in which neither combatant has touched the mat. You see, when someone tries to sell me anything, I don't enjoy it. If it is true, then it is true. It's not a shade. Canelo is an excellent combatant. Buzz is an excellent combatant. However, don't try to oversell or overhype anything by lying or using these strange gray area techniques, which is why I made this video. Subscribe to my channel for more videos where we expose the fluff, unfiltered and uncut. However, I disagree with this, as it seems disrespectful to true boxing fans who are aware of the play. Do you understand? Devin Haney might be considered unbeaten, cool. However, true boxing fans don't look at it that way. To make him appear more unbeatable and bulletproof, you may claim that these fighters have never been knocked out, yet true boxing fans do recall these bouts. We know that we saw the Prenel fight, buddy, even though you might argue that Chavez never lost to Alamo Dome. We are aware of the actual events. I just wanted to create this film because I am aware that many individuals release similar content. It's like propaganda, and I'm not sure if it's social media users who aren't very knowledgeable about boxing. So they go on Google or GPT and look for factoids from researchers, but you have to be really into the sport. Because of this, not everyone is able to produce boxing material the way I do. It's unreliable, even for content producers with channels. And other assets. Numerous and poor quality items are present. 10 predictions are made, and 9 out of 10 turn out to be incorrect. A deep understanding of the sport. You cannot just rely on GPT chat, watch other people's movies, and duplicate them, or do anything else. In the end, true fans don't respect that. I use StreamYard because live broadcasting may be challenging. For StreamYard, an amazing tool that makes it simple to set up your stream. Click the link in the description. Use live broadcasting to get fantastic outcomes. I make use of it. Use StreamYard to easily stream to social media. Live streaming will continue to exist. Utilize StreamYard to